we have a pretty big incident to talk about that occurred this week on a college campus. Huffington Post explains here. Police arrested an East Tennessee State University student on Wednesday after he disrupted a Black Lives Matter protest by handing out bananas while wearing a gorilla mask. Tristan Retke, a freshman at the university, also reportedly had a bag emblazoned with a Confederate flag symbol and a bunch of rope. He was charged with 1 count of civil rights intimidation for the on-campus incident. Okay. So there are multiple different aspects to this story, and I want to break it all down for you. So the first aspect is this guy a fuckhead? Is he a bad person? The answer is obviously. You're not, some sort of hero. You're not some sort of rebel for standing up and saying, I'm going to wear a monkey mask, give bananas to black people, have a Confederate flag on my backpack, and have rope in it, like a noose, basically. Like, that's the whole idea of it. Like, oh, here's some rope. Everybody knows what that means. That doesn't make you some sort of a hero. That makes you an asshole. And, oh, please, these are the same people who would then turn around and say, I'm not racist! I'm not a bigot. I'm not racist. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean racist? Racist. Fucking leftists always throwing around the word racist. What? I just fucking wore a monkey mask and handed out bananas and have a Confederate flag on my backpack and hand rope to black people. That's not racist at all. And then, okay, they could pivot. Oh, I was trolling. It's an interesting way to troll if you would then turn around and say, I'm not racist. So, okay, on the one hand, is he a prick? Absolutely. And by the way, the protesters in this instance were totally peaceful, and one of them was holding up a sign, for example, that said, Black Lives Matter does not mean all lives don't. So in other words, like, that is... I like how he's protesting and trying to explain things and be reasonable and put it in context. And say, like, no, like, this is what I mean when I say Black Lives Matter. I'm not saying white lives don't matter. I'm not saying blue lives don't matter. I'm not saying all lives don't matter. I'm saying we feel like our lives don't matter right now. And, we're trying to get people to realize that and to try to help fix the problems in policing, for example, that would ameliorate the problem. So, like, they were totally peaceful and stuff. But here's where there's the twist in the story. Dude, how do you not realize that when the authorities arrest this guy and charge him with something, that now you made him a victim, now you made him a martyr, and now you're the bad guy? And I even have no problem saying, yeah, the authorities are the bad guy in this instance. Because you can't do that, man. Look, you have a right in America. This is what freedom means. You have a right to be a bigot and an asshole and a prick. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't call you a bigot and an asshole and a prick. Of course I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. That guy's a bigot and an asshole and a prick. But he doesn't get arrested for that. That's not on the table of options. Okay? And this is it really is a test of just how much you really do believe in free expression. It is, man. It is. It really is. Because if you can look at this and say, oh, I fucking hate that guy, but yes, obviously he shouldn't be arrested, congratulations, you passed the test. You actually believe in free speech, you believe in free expression, you believe in free protest. If you look at this and you let your hatred for this guy, justifiable hatred, overcome you to the point where you say, fuck it, throw the book at him and I hope he gets time in jail, now you're the bad guy and you just made him the victim. How the fuck can you be silly enough to make a guy wearing a monkey mask handing out bananas with a Confederate flag and rope look like a victim? Well, some people just did it. They managed to fucking do it. You're giving him exactly what he wants, and again, you're becoming the bad guy. Now, to really put this in perspective, flip the script for a second. Flip the script. So, imagine you have a Blue Lives Matter protest somewhere, okay? And you have somebody who comes to the Blue Lives Matter protest dressed up as Trayvon Martin, or dressed up as some other black victim of well, in the case of George Zimmerman, it wasn't police abuse. It was just a random asshole killing Trayvon. But okay, so take Terrence Crutcher, any example. You go to one of these events dressed like that and wearing a sign or something saying, I'm stand with Terrence Crutcher or whatever. And I don't know, you find a way to... Oh, better example. You go to one of these events wearing a shirt that has a cop as a pig. and you taunt them. You taunt them, and you're aggressive in how you taunt them. You don't do any physical violence, but you let them know, I don't like you. In that case, yeah, of course the Blue Lives Matter people, they would be like, arrest them and charge them with something. Now, in that instance, if they did that, all of us should say and would say, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So you don't believe in free speech. You don't believe in free expression. You don't want to do your job of policing properly. Because that was, sure, you could say that was offensive. Sure, you could disagree with his tactics, but that falls squarely on the side of free speech. Well, guys, it's the same thing in this instance. Just because we like the guy doesn't mean it's not the case. And I don't like the guy, and he is a bigot. He is a racist. I mean, he might as well, what's the next step above what he just did there? Come out with a fucking swastika on your shirt saying I love Hitler and shit like that? Like, you're just one step below, like, wearing a fucking KKK hood and shit. So you're a bad dude. But of course I wouldn't have you arrested. And think about it. My buddy brought this up to me last night. If he wasn't arrested, literally the entire country would praise the protesters today for their restraint. And by the way, they were restrained, and they do deserve nothing but praise. But now the conversation today from many people, and rightfully so, is, come on, you can't arrest that guy. So instead of having the conversation about how racist that guy is and how big of a bigot he is and how bad of a person he is and how this may be trolling, but it still speaks to his character, so on and so forth. Instead of having that conversation, now the conversation is mostly, nah, but come on, you made him a victim because you arrested him. Just because he was fucking being a douchebag. You're allowed to be a douchebag, man. So I'm here to tell you guys, both things are true. Yeah, this guy's a bad person. Do I think this? No, it's not fucking funny. Who the fuck? If you find that funny, chances are there's something wrong with you, man. If you find this kind of trolling and this kind of action funny. So yeah, he's a bad person. Yeah, he's a prick. Yeah, he's an asshole. I would never arrest him. Not in a million years.